getting ready for our first fight. Omar Juarez and Rivera of the Philippines. There's Omar Juarez right there. And he is a young man who is always thinking of more than just himself. He's a blue chip prospect, just turned 22. But Heidi, he's such an impressive young man. Heidi Angel has much more. Go ahead, Heidi.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, that's right. Impressive in the ring, 11-0, but equally as impressive outside the ring. He's a motivational speaker. He's an ambassador for Down by the Border, an organization for individuals with special needs. We're going to show you a little photo. This is Nathan Rios. He is 14 years old. He is blind. He listens to Omar Juarez's fights because he can't see, but he is an artist and was so inspired by all the work he does in the community. He wanted to paint him. He gets the help of his mother. Omar said he was moved to tears when he saw this art, and he looks forward to bringing another victory home to his close community in South Texas tonight. Brian?
Heidi, thank you so much. Yeah, and Omar Juarez, if you haven't heard the story, he graduated high school when he was 16. He's been a motivational speaker to kids in grade schools, junior highs, and he's 11-0. Again, he's a top prospect, a good young pro, but always thinking of others. He's so impressive. Again, you see the tail of the tape. Omar Juarez is the younger man at the age of 22. Rivera, more of a veteran. He is 28 years old. A slight reach advantage, a little more experience for Rivera, 21-5. Juarez, though, is the prospect on the way up. Fight number one tonight here on Fox from Minneapolis. Let's go to the ring and Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome from the Armory here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Premier Boxing Champions presents a big night of action coming your way. It's Fox PBC Fight Night. And we extend a special welcome to the brave men and women serving around the world and joining us tonight on AFN, the American Forces Network. Well, fans, introducing our judges scoring this bout from ringside, we have Scott Erickson, Octavio Rodriguez, and Kyle Shiely. All right, fans, here we go. The opening attraction, super lightweights in the ring. We're scheduled 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, hailing from Boon Boon, Northern Samar in the Philippines. He weighed in at 142 1/4 pounds. With a record of 21 wins and 5 losses, he has 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the Southpaw contender, introducing the Machine Gun Rivera. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trunks with gold trim, hailing from Brownsville, Texas. He weighed in at 142 1/2 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 11 wins, no losses, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the undefeated Omar El Relámpago Juarez. And a third man to the ring now to give instructions, Mark Nelson.
Gentlemen, trunks here a little high. This is not considered low. You had your instructions earlier. You both know what I expect. A good, clean fight. Just obey my commands and protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck to both of you.
Closed captioning is available for tonight's telecast, and if you would like to hear the broadcast in Spanish, you can click over to the simulcast on the Fox Deportes app. Omar Juarez, Rivera. Juarez 11-0. Only 5 of his wins by knockout, though, despite his aggression and his power punching. He's been going the distance more and more. And I'm always interested, Joe, in the improvements that Omar is looking to make, because he is a cerebral fighter. What are you looking for from him tonight?
Well, he's in there with the southpaw who can punch. He's got, I think, 17 knockouts out of his 22 wins, something like that. But I will tell you this. Omar Juarez is he just got hit with a left hand, but he's getting better and better every fight. This is not an easy fight to take. He really took a challenge on in fighting an experienced guy like this. That's a southpaw that has gone the distance with people like Rancis Bartholomew. So this is a tall order. If he can take out Rivera, he's on his way.
Yeah, that was his last fight against Bartholomew. It was 27-1-1. Never really challenged Bartholomew, though. Rivera is very rugged, workmanlike, fundamentally sound, but I know Lennox Lewis, you were calling that fight with us last time. He's not especially creative. You wanted to see a little more from Rivera. He looks a little more aggressive here tonight.
Yeah, he does. You know, he came out and he means business. He wants this fight. He wants to make a good impression because his last couple fights he didn't really make a good impression. So he's got a lot of things staved up in him. And Rivera's a tough guy too. He can take punches. And if you look at his body, he's strong looking.
Quick right hand there by Juarez, able to sneak that in. And Juarez telling us that, you know, he wants to show that he can adapt to any style. As Joe Goosen mentioned, again, that left-handed style from Rivera will give him a little problem. Juarez wants to make improvements fight by fight. Only 22, just turned it last month. 11-0, and you can see he likes to sink in with his body shots. He is very aggressive. He wants to be an action fighter.
He really does, Brian. And let me tell you something. I love Omar Juarez. He has got so much talent, so much raw talent. He's so smart. He's got great eyes in the ring. He's got quick hands. He's got great defense. And I'm going to tell you, he's one of the best body punchers you're going to see the way he delivers it. And one other point I wanted to make. You know, Rivera just looked a little thick around the middle to me, and sometimes as a corner man, when you're sizing a guy up from the other corner before the belly rings, you tell your fighter, look, I like what I see right there, you know, and it's a little thick around the belly. Let's hit that belly as early and often as we can. So let's see if he gets that. And he's got a great body punch attack, Omar Juarez. So let's see what unfolds here.
Rivera already being able to show that he's able to land that left hand. Two good left hands landed in this round already. Good straight right from Juarez up the middle. His power shots have landed as well. You see a slight advantage there in the comp box stats. Left corner, 10-6, in favor of Juarez. But a quick, hard jab from Rivera.
Juarez is throwing the jab from down low, and Juarez is... Yeah, he's throwing the punch from down low, and he's catching him. What he needs to do is, after that, just throw a right hand and a hook, a cleanup hook after that.
That is round number one. Let's go to Heidi Androl.
Thanks, Brian. Well, we talk about Omar Juarez being from Brownsville, Texas, but he actually spent about 3 weeks, almost a month up in San Francisco training alongside Mario Barrios. There you see him. Things did not go his way against Gervonta Davis last night, but Omar saying he learned an awful lot up there. Got a lot of great southpaw sparring. In fact, he sparred with Willie Shaw, a former opponent. Said the biggest challenge of being up there is training in that cold San Francisco air. He's used to the hot humidity in Texas. That actually, he's used to losing 7 to 9 pounds in one workout down in San Antonio, but this time it took him a little longer to lose the weight with that cold climate. Brian?
Heidi, thank you. Yeah, in camp with Barrios. He also trains regularly with Brandon Figueroa. And watch that right hand against a quick right hand and right on the button from Juarez. It was a busy night last night. Gervonta Davis eventually stopping Barrios. Julio Cesar Martinez, one of the best fighters in the world, in my opinion, won his fight, had a knockout. Erickson Lubin had a knockout. And the return of Vasily Lomachenko. He also had a knockout win last night. Tonight, we get to see David Morrell, only 4-0, but fighting in main events already. Former Cuban amateur standout. And many think he's going to be a future world champion, including Joe Goosen. Right, Joe?
Yes, absolutely.
No? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I was kind of transfixed on what was going on in the ring. Just real quick here, you know, Rivera came out and he landed one that went a little south of the border, but he came out attacking Juarez's body, and Juarez came right back with a great body attack. Look, these two guys are in here to win tonight, Rivera and Juarez. And I'm telling you, this is just going to get real heated in the next few rounds. I can see it coming.
Oh, yeah, for right.
Nice uppercut there off the right hand from Juarez as well. And a hook, and now a body shot. Creative attack from Omar Juarez. And Joe, it's all right, I'm transfixed quite often. I was transfixed. I was bamboozled.
We'll have to have you see something about this.
Both of us. Both use some help. Second round scheduled for 10. Again, Omar Juarez on the 22. On on the way up. There's a nice shot from Rivera. Again, the veteran. He does look thick, Joe, but he looks strong and fast, doesn't he?
He does. He does. That's what I said. He's here to win, definitely. And he's got all those knockouts for a reason. He can crack. And again, difficult southpaw style. And look, this is not exactly the, you know, if I'm a trainer, I'm really going, do you really have to give me a bad dude southpaw? You know, because it works against what Juarez really does well, and that's that left hook to the body. And it's much more difficult to land those left hands to the body on southpaws versus right-handers, where you know where to place them and how to place them. He knows it's a challenge, Juarez.
Yeah, Joe, I think it's an art form, matchmaking, finding the right opponent at the right time in your career. And you're right, saying, hey, do we want this guy? Is this guy good for us? Can we beat him? Will he give us a test? And we just saw over on FS1, the fight we had just before this, Nate Gallimore, who looked 33 and on his way down, beats an unbeaten Leon Lawson, undefeated kid, 21 years old. So sometimes you can step in deep and a little too deep.
Yeah, there you see
exchange there, right hand. Oof.
There you see a mouse under the eye of Juarez, and that may be affecting him down the line. And here you see Rivera is throwing that straight left, catching Juarez. And here you see the straight left catching Juarez and actually giving him that mouse on his right eye.
And Lennox, this is the problem. That is a significant bruise as well, Lennox, to your point. And you see Rivera sharpshooting that right now. That eye has already started to close, and we're just through 2 rounds.
That's right, Brian. And this is the thing with southpaws. The punches come from the opposite side, and until you get used to them or you actually like fighting southpaws, they can be really troublesome. Now, the last thing I'll say is in the corner, Mike Rodriguez was doing a great job of playing the end swell, which is a frozen piece of metal that you put on that swelling underneath the eye in hopes of reducing the swelling so that the eye doesn't get shut completely during the course of the fight. But another good punch can make that thing swell up even worse.
Yeah, that is close more than I would have thought in the early going. I mean, it suddenly flared up, and that has all the makings of a bruise that will close that eye, and a good right hook by Rivera as well.
I've had those type of swelling before from fighters, and if you really get on it and you put a lot of pressure on it with the end swell, you got to push that blood out to the side, away from underneath and out to the side of the eye, and you can get it under control. It's happened quite a few times, but that's why end swells were invented, because they actually do work if you apply the pressure correctly, like Mike Rodriguez, the great country, did do in the corner.
Well, if people who watch a lot of fights here on Fox or anywhere else, they'll see, Joe, to your point, they'll see Mike Rodriguez in the corner a lot, right? He is a man for hire because of his expertise.
Oh, absolutely. We'll see. He's got the right medicines, he's got the right touch and technique, and he's got the good eye, and he knows what he's doing, and that's why he's in such great demand.
And Lennox, Juarez, this is a test immediately, isn't it? Like when you feel that, like how difficult is it to get through when you've already, been touched up and your face is marked up like that early?
Yeah, I mean, you could go into the panic stage. He could go into the panic stage and try and throw his punches and try and knock out Rivera. But he's got to keep control, keep composure, and go about his work and do what he needs to do, what his corner's telling him.
Nice jab by Rivera. And Rivera, all business in this fight. Good, sharp, crisp punches. Able to land his jab and that straight left hand, marking up the face of Omar Juarez. Even though the punches landed, according to CompuBox, in favor of Juarez so far. Final seconds of round number 3. Rivera making it. It's going to be exciting, and you can see the eye there from Omar Juarez. You knew you were going to get a test when you get Rivera, but I don't think they were expecting that. Looks like it's in good shape, though, Joe, to your point. Mike Rodriguez doing excellent work, and it is not closed up anymore And then I think it originally looked a round to go.
Yeah, sometimes they can actually get better during the course. The more pressure you apply to it, the more you apply the inswell and don't get it on as often. Yeah, they can actually, reduce in swelling and give you, clear vision. Now, one thing I'm going to say right here is that's a nice little move by Juarez. But I got to tell you, Rivera has really landed a lot of left hands. Whoa! That was a really tight takedown.
Down they go. Rivera, look, with a one-legged takedown, and you have to worry if Juarez there, grabbing his ribs if he was hurt. Stay here.
That was really uncalled for. I want to see what Mark Nelson and the referee is going to do about
Stay here.
that.
You okay? Come here. Come here. Keep the fight clean, okay? Don't hold. Time in. Here we go.
That was a deliberate takedown. That was no accident.
I'm with you, Joe. I thought he might take a point away. It would not be out of the realm of possibility. Because the way he has his arms around the leg, it's like, you took him down and you drive your shoulder into his abdomen.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have. He doesn't have to, but he could have. And an advantage gained. Fortunately, Juarez able to fight on, but you have to be worried. Like, if he has a cracked rib or something like that, this fight's over.
Yeah, and Juarez right now, he's a little peeved about that whole thing, and he was just winging some really hard shots in the corner over here right now. But he's got to be careful and not get angry, because then you start losing your composure and maybe make mistakes. And right now, Rivera is still dangerous with that left hand. And remember, they got a little bit of an advantage on right-handers as left-handers, because, again, they're used to seeing right-handers in the sparring, in the ring.
Big right hand, Rivera going backwards, now digging in hard, a devastating hook from Juarez. As he goes in, he is angry, and he is firing.
He really is angry right now. He's got to be careful, too.
Rivera coming back, comes in behind the jab nicely. And his head looks clear.
Get your hands free, guys.
This is a rugged veteran fighter. Been through plenty of wars. Mark Nelson warning them again. And it was Omar Juarez just before that takedown that was having that success. Lennox, do you think a point should have been taken away, or do you think that was kind of just an honest fall?
I think it was an honest fall. Both guys were out of position and off balance as well. So both guys went with the tumble.
Yeah, I'm not against that. I think you could absolutely be right. Rivera piling up with the left hand there. Not the way it looked, I thought he might. Not sure. Probably did the right things. Final 15 seconds of round number 4, a very eventful round. Juarez picking up the pace, landed good shots, but Rivera doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Interesting fight. We're back in Minneapolis. And this was a fascinating round, and there's Omar Juarez firing his shots. Good short hook.
Wasn't it?
And it's all Rivera reeling backwards. Rivera, though, not done. Doesn't even look hurt. Juarez likes the combat, and he's going to get it from all Rivera. Joe and Lennox, you can see Juarez, he shortens up on that uppercut, throws the crisp hook. He has a different pace on some of his punches as well.
Yeah, he does. Some of the shots, he just really goes, he wings it, he goes for it. He's trying to knock him out with one punch, and it shows. I think Juarez shouldn't really stand like that and allow his opponent to punch him, because he's just a sitting target right there.
Trying to get in on the inside there, but Rivera close enough for him just to whale shots on him. Juarez throws to the body now, a nice combination to the head. Let's get Marcos Villegas in on this. Marcos, through 4 rounds, how do you have it?
Through 4 rounds, it's been some great action between these guys, back and forth. At this point in the fight, I have it 38-38, with the first round and this last round going to Juarez. But Rivera's been scoring with some big punches as well, and he's been getting these rounds. 38-38 so far in this fight.
Wow, okay. Marcos giving rounds 2 and 3 to Paul Rivera.
See, I think it's getting to the point.
Both fighters still crisp.
Brian, I think it's getting to the point where, Juarez actually, and we talked about it earlier in the fighter meetings, that Rivera is not as good going backwards as he is forward. I know it seems more dangerous to press a guy like Rivera, but it may pay off in the end. See, right now, Omar's got the earmuffs on, and he's blocking punches, and he's looking to counter short like that right there. See, so he's going to land his good shots in close too. From the outside, Rivera's been tagging him with that lead left hand, and when he comes forward, Rivera's a lot better than he is going back. So let's see, if Omar catches on to that and puts a little bit more pressure on him in the second half of this fight.
To your point, long way to go. We're only in round 5. Seen a lot of action so far. Juarez certainly being tested, and Rivera with a lot more spark in him than the last time we saw him. That was in January against Reces Bartolome.
Rivera looks a little tired right now.
So nice uppercut there by Juarez. Good crisp action here in round 5. And a big left hand from Rivera. Rivera very game tonight.
And that's where he's got to press. When he turns him like that, and you get Rivera near the ropes, that's where Juarez has got to really press. I mean, he's got to take advantage of that slick move that he just pulled onto there. And like that, right there, he's got to get out of the way. But his hands touch the ground, so you got to wipe him out.
Break! Don't punch. No. Stop. Step back.
Juarez able to spin Rivera around, and we're through 5 rounds. Hard-hitting Efe Apochi out of Nigeria. 11-0, all 11 wins by knockout. Unbeaten, strong puncher, promises action, drama, and war. Brandon Glanton, though, former football player, played in college, late to the boxing game, but says, hey, this is not an A-side, B-side fight. This is a real fight. And Glanton gets his shot. He's 13-0 in his own regard. Again, he is undefeated as well, but a big step up. And Efe Apochi, a stablemate of Efe Ajagba, the 6'5 heavyweight, spars with him on a regular basis. Unbeaten cruiserweights coming up next here on Fox. Here it's Omar Juarez and Rivera. And it's been an action-packed fight. Juarez with the slight advantage. You can see the advantage of the punches landed. But his face has already been marked up, and Rivera has been able to eat shots and fire back to right hand by Juarez on the butt.
See, this is what he's got to do. He's got to hurt Rivera, and I think he will if he keeps up this type of work. You just don't want to give
Juarez is sharpshooting, able to nail him with uppercuts and hooks. Straight right hand, so he is able to find his spot and be very accurate, pinpoint.
Yeah. The worst thing to do is give Rivera any confidence and momentum. You've got to, Omar has got to really, I think, just keep up the attack as much as he can. Because this fight is close, and these rounds are close, Brian.
Yeah. That's a difficult fight as well. And this is what you want on the way up. You want it to a certain extent, right? You don't want to be having too difficult, but you want to be made to work. This is his 4th fight post-pandemic in the last 9 months. Comes off his first 10-round decision in a fight where he said, look, I look back, I thought it was a 7 out of 10. Thought I fought well, room for improvement. But Rivera is just a very different package to deal with.
Yeah, when Juarez is going after Rivera, Rivera just kind of comes in and smothers Juarez's punches and, allows him not to get a power punch in there. He kind of smothers him.
And you see the numbers there. And if you go, it's a good way to score the round as well and get an indication. And you can see in rounds 4 and 5, it's a fairly significant advantage for Omar Juarez. Sometimes, with the punch stats, you can't tell exactly, if it's close, it's really not telling you, indicating either way who won that round, but we'll get around 8, 9, 10 punches in favor. Normally, you have won that round. Normally. Not all the time, but sometimes.
That's true. But, in this round here, I thought Juarez started out great. He threw combinations. It looked like he buzzed Rivera a little bit, and now he's letting Rivera get back to the fight by backing him up a little bit. And I like this. Well, I don't like him retreating like that. I just think he's getting hit too much going backwards.
Joe, that's a good percentage right there. Just want to point it out. You see that he's landing 53% of his power punches. I know, like Vasily Lomachenko landed 59% last night. They were lording over that. It's a very high percentage, but Juarez very accurate here tonight. Strafing left hand from Rivera. Still very much in this fight.
All right, here we see Juarez sliding in a nice right hand by slipping the jab on Rivera. Now, here it comes, back with the right uppercut. Body shot.
Get your hands
all of those landed solidly. Then he ducked Rivera's left hand and came back. But here comes Rivera again. And that's why I say, you know, he let him back into this round. We didn't see much there, Rivera, but trust me, Rivera came back and kind of evened it up. So, you know, once you get ahead in a round, you got to sustain that and don't let the guy back into the round by backing up and giving him a chance.
That's a good point, Joe. You see the action there from Rivera, who was able to land with the combinations. And to your point, Joe, there are sequences where Juarez looks like he's at another level, just a class above. But over the course of 3 minutes, Rivera can even things up.
Absolutely. And he seemingly does that every round, which is making it very close. He came in good shape, and he came in to win. It was obvious from the beginning. So this is a big test for Juarez tonight, and the guy that does the best work down the stretch here, the next 3-4 rounds, is going to really, it's going to be very important to winning this fight, just like it was in the last fight we saw. Oh, great.
Look at these combinations. Omar Juarez, beautiful short combinations, and keeps going with that hook to the body.
Rivera throws his combination, but Juarez needs to come back and answer him with the punches.
Now you see, you're watching the fight, Marcos Villegas, you saw the unofficial scorecard. He's got it even. So certainly any of the judges could have it just like that, even if you're impressed by Juarez, and we are, I am certainly. To Joe's point, Rivera is doing enough to win rounds, get back into rounds, and very possibly be even up in this fight.
This is where Juarez should push a little.
Again by Juarez.
Juarez should push a little and give himself a little room and then fire his combinations, especially when they're in close.
You know, Brian, it's funny because I got an old saying sometimes. I go, you know, you got 3 rounds to work, and I'll give you a minute to rest, okay, in the corner. So you can't really, you can't work for 2 minutes a round. You got to work for 3 minutes a round, and that's what Juarez has to do.
Yeah, that shot was low, as you mentioned. Mark Nelson is going to give him a little bit of time.
That was.
See where that went. Yeah, no, that's low and straight up the middle too.
Time in. Here we go.
He should get 5 minutes. One of my pet peeves in boxing, Joe, Lennox, is that they say, hey, you have 5 minutes. And then within 8 seconds, they go, how you feeling? You ready? You're like, wait, I got 5 minutes. You know, my 5.
The fighter can say, no, I'm not. So that's the difference.
Yeah, but they never do. They never do.
Well, once in a blue moon, but you're right about that.
That's because, Brian, it wasn't really on the spot. It was on the cut, but not on the spot where it really makes you react.
I got you. Anyway, they're back at it. Rivera back at it to the body as well. Very good here tonight. Came in, Juarez, uppercuts at the bell. They fight on. Back in Minneapolis, you were there in the corner with young Omar Juarez. He just turned 22. He is 11-0. And he is having a level of progression fight here. Rivera taking it to him. Juarez with the quick hands on the inside. Sharp shooting from the inside. So now we move along, and it's good crisp stuff. Rivera coming out firing, lands that left hand as we start round 8.
But I got to tell you, Juarez is showing a great chin. He took that. This guy's a knockout puncher, Rivera. He's good, and he's strong, and he's awkward. And look at Omar Juarez, the fighting spirit in him. I love that. He took a great shot, and he came back. And here we go. look at Rivera coming back. See, he's got to keep that pressure on. Don't back up against this guy. Here, we're going to show you a little, that first shot at the beginning of this round right here. Backing up, holding his hands out long, and there's Rivera just snuck in that left hand. That's been getting in all night when he backs up. So you got to put your hands up more. You got to be more defensive minded if you're Juarez, and you got to use some head movement and press.
Let's just cut it.
Tape cover.
Okay, you get around. Okay. Perfect. Let's go.
Hopefully that stays.
You know, one thing we can bring up here too, Joe, is like, you know, something that I think should be judged. It's almost like a tool, like you have tools in baseball. It's like tools in boxing, your engine. Like, how is your engine? Like, Juarez has got to keep going because all Rivera's engine is outstanding. Like, maybe he doesn't go up to 5th and 6th gear, but his engine is strong. His torque is powerful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's deliberate and it's constant, and you can count on it, you know.
I mentioned a moment or two ago, Marcos Villegas had this fight even. Let's see how he has it now. Marcos, what do you have?
At this point, through 7 rounds, good shots there by Juarez. See, those are the kind of shots that I want to see because it makes it easier for me to give him these rounds and not get hit with these punches with a jab that he just got hit. But I have it 67 to 66. Omar winning the last 2 rounds. He's doing well so far with his momentum. So let's see how it unfolds.
You know, at this point,
Marcos giving the last 2 then to Omar Juarez, but you can see how close it is, and just to indicate that these judges ringside could have it that close, if not even. I'm sorry, Lennox, go ahead.
no, at this point, Juarez needs to take his time. I would say he needs to throw shorter punches, and his success rate would be a lot better.
Yeah, and to throw shorter punches, you have to be in close. So he's got to get closer. Because, you know, there's an old saying when you fight a southpaw, the closer you get to them, the less they feel like a southpaw. And I find that to be true. But you give them a little bit of distance and a cutie pie like Rivera, they'll pick you apart. And they'll slide stuff in there that you don't expect because it comes from that different angle. And it's just, you know, the closer you get, and you can feel when a guy's trying to make moves when you're body to body against him. Is that true, Lennox?
Yes, yeah, you do. See, at this point, Juarez should not be covering up.
Welcome back to the Armory. There you see Mario Cazares. He's warming up. You'll see a little wink from him there. He's ready to go. All full of personality he was in our fighter meetings. First fight on U.S. soil for this guy, David Morrell Jr., as we've talked about throughout this broadcast, an impressive young man. He makes Minneapolis his new home, hails from Cuba, looking to put on a show in front of the fans here tonight.
Here we go, Lennox. You know, look, there's 2 rounds left, and no doubt this is a close fight, and no doubt. Oh, there it is. Right hook. He hit him with the right hook, he dropped him, and then he touched him again when he was down. That was a legitimate right hook that put Juarez down. It wasn't backing up into the ropes. He got caught with long punches.
Stop! Don't punch. Break! Juarez dropped for the first time in this fight. All Rivera getting right back into it, and with a 10-8 round, could really swing it on the cards.
Absolutely, Brian, and it was a right hook. Juarez was backing up, got hung up on the ropes, and
Stop! No punch, no
Rivera
punch.
had him trapped there and unleashed a great right hook and dropped him. Tapped him again while he was down on one knee, but I got to tell you, this is a dangerous guy. We've been saying it all night. He came here to win, and Juarez is going to have to really do something just as effective as what Rivera did to win this fight, because that could have probably just closed the gap in the scoring.
Juarez seems like he's recovered from that knockdown and he's throwing a good right, but that, you know, his speed is still there, his quickness is still there. But I think he telegraphs a little bit too much when he's going to throw his punches.
Stop.
They need to be a little bit smoother.
You're holding. When I say stop, break, step back.
Brian?
Yes, Joe.
This is why when my first question to my matchmakers back in the days when I was bringing up a lot of the 4-round guys was, I'm going to tell I would always say this. I go,
yeah, I know you are.
Don't get me. Yes, no, because southpaws, they're a bane. They're a bane to fighters. Unless you just really love to fight southpaws, they're just troublesome. And trust me, and it's really going to bother to Juarez tonight. Look at his eye. Look at the fact that he's
to give the fans an idea of what you're saying in a fighter meeting. It is the Joe Goosen drinking game when you bring up, have you fought a southpaw? Do you have a lot of southpaws in training?
Right.
Do you know a lot of southpaws? Do you fear southpaws? And we're thinking, oh my God, Joe.
Only when they're fighting a southpaw do I ask those questions because they're pertinent. You will get the few fighters. See right there? Did you see Rivera step on the front foot of Juarez right there? This is another problem. This stuff like this. So the bottom line is, yes, I do ask that because it's true. They are difficult.
Good exchange there, and we're going to keep it here between rounds. We're going to look at that knockdown again and keep it here and go to the corner as this fight has changed. Let's go back again. Early seconds.
You saw
good, crisp right shot.
Yeah, you saw Juarez throw a right uppercut, left hand down, right hook came right over it. Here it is, look. Left hand down, here comes the right hook. Boom, he walked right into it. You know, there's an old saying, Brian, you use one hand punches, the other one protects. He didn't do that.
That's the only round he dropped. All good, baby.
Let's go to the corner and listen in now.
Nice and tight.
High trauma here in Minneapolis.
I want this round big. Stay close to him. Smother him up because he can't punch on the inside. All right. Okay? As long as your guard's tight, you can dig everything up the middle. Yeah. Go. Go get it, baby.
Omar Juarez down for the first time as a professional. That's his father, Rudy Juarez, in the corner. They knew they would have a test. Look, that's why you take a fight against Rivera, but you didn't want this kind of test. Touch him up. And now that's a 10-8 round, and that could swing things as we go to the 10th and final round, and this fight could be hanging in the balance. Big left hand, that time from Rivera again. Stop! The punch stats in favor of Omar Juarez, but that's not how you score. You score it round by round, and now there's a 10-8 round in favor of Rivera.
You know, I don't like those earmuffs Juarez is doing because he's not really rolling with the shots. He's just taking the shots. He's taking the impacts of the shots. What he should do is roll with the shots and come back with his shots.
That's a wicked uppercut, too, by Rivera. Lennox, I guess he's able to score it well, right? And judges who are looking for a reason to give a guy a round, Rivera is piling up some points in the opening 20 seconds.
I have a feeling, Brian, that the corner, because I wasn't privy to it, I couldn't hear it, but I think Juarez's corner probably told him, you need a knockout to win this fight.
No, he actually told him to stay close. Okay. Stay close to him because he can't hit him close, and I think that was the wrong.
Okay, whether it was the right or wrong. Yeah. Do you think he needs a knockout to win?
Yeah, I believe he needs a knockout to win. He needs to do some damage right now. He needs to definitely win this last round.
You know, I wouldn't have gotten that feeling until you guys said that. Let's go to Marcos Villegas. Marcos, how do you have it scored?
Yeah, I share the same sentiment at Lennox. The fight's on the line right now, and if either guy wants to win it, they really got to press it on and put on the pressure. That 1 point, extra point that Rivera got because of the knockdown put him back in the fight because I had him losing the last 2 rounds, so it's 85-85 at this point. It's on the balance.
But to that point, now you mean, there's a big difference between go out and win the round and be aggressive and you need a knockout to win the fight. It's a big difference there. I wouldn't think he'd be down, but Joe, if you feel he is, that's where you're at.
Here's what I'm saying, Bryce, is you can't always depend on the scoring. Sometimes you just got to go by your gut instinct and tell your fighter, look, yeah, we want to win the round, we want to win it big, but I really want a knockout here to cement it and make sure it doesn't go to the judges.
Now, final 40 seconds here now, and as Juarez has really not mounted an impressive attack here in the 10th round. I don't even know if he's winning this round. Probably not. And again, it could very much be in the balance just on who wins this round. You expect it to be be reasonably close. Now, final 20 seconds of this fight, and Juarez doesn't look like a man who feels he's losing, does it? Either he's out of gas, or he doesn't think he is desperate.
Juarez looks like
fighting that way.
Juarez actually looks like he hurt his right hand. That's why he's not throwing it that much.
Right, possibly. And then that'll do it. Juarez smiling. He doesn't seem to be overly concerned. Look, he gave it his all. Goes into the corner for Rivera. Rivera had a very good night. Omar Juarez, Rivera, and it's expected to be a very close fight. Let's go through it, guys.
All right, here we go. There's that left hand, that straight left hand all night long, followed by a left hand right here. Okay, here comes Juarez. Look, he fought back all night. This is a close fight, and there's a perfect example. A little short right hand, quick chop, little left hook. Had Rivera hurt, and here comes Rivera right back to the pocket, landing that good jab. It's a difficult jab to deal with. Nice right hand from Juarez. He's got his hands down though, that's dangerous. And there goes Rivera, reeling off some good punches. And again, like all night long, was a great fight. Omar Juarez comes back with combos. Rivera answers back. He was tit for tat all night long, and here comes Rivera with that big right hand in the ninth round to drop Omar Juarez. And here we go, and then he's back on the attack. Juarez came back and had a good combination. Look, it's a close fight. I don't know who won this fight, but I'll tell you, it's close. Look at this, right here.
Let's look at the CompuBox stats. Again, total punches landed. Omar Juarez with a significant advantage, 152 to 123. But again, how is it scored? It's scored very differently, round by round. Power shots very close, only 113 to 110. Very, very close. By the way, Omar Juarez has never lost more than 2 rounds on any scorecard in his career. This could be very different. Let's go to the ring, get the decision from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a majority decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Scott Erickson scores about 95-95, even a draw. Overruled by judges Octavio Rodriguez, who scores about 95 to 94, and Kyle Shiely scoring about 95 to 93 in favor of the winner, All the Machine Gun Rivera.
Well, we didn't have
All Rivera does it.
Yeah.
All Rivera does it. And Omar Juarez, maybe he lost that last round, and that was enough to do it. It was that close.
Exactly. And
here's how Marcos Villegas had it. Again, and you could go right down to round 10. It's 10-9 Rivera, and that swings it. Swung it on Marcos's card. It was 10-8, obviously, in round 9. That's how that scored. But All Rivera gets his first win in the United States. Successful in the Philippines. He's seen as an opponent, but he jumps up tonight, motivated from the very start, and Omar Juarez suffers his first professional loss.